2024-2025. I beg to lay. Referred to the Committee of Legal and Parliamentary Affairs, Health,
Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the Ministerial Policy Statement of the Health Sub-Program for the financial year 2024-2025 for consideration and approval in accordance with Section 13, subsection 13 of the Public Finance and Management Act 2015 as amended. I beg to lay.
thank you. Refer to the Committee of Health, Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development,
Madam Speaker, I beg to lay Ministerial Policy Statement for Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development under Vote 008. I beg to lay.
thank you. Refer to the Committee of Finance, Planning and Economic Development. But there are other votes under finance.
The National Population Council,
Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay on table the Ministerial Policy Statement for the National Population Council, Vote 149 for the financial year 2024-2025. I beg to lay.
Thank you. Refer to the Committee of Planning, Finance, Planning and Economic Development,
the Uganda Bureau of Statistics,
Finance,
Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay on table the Ministerial Policy Statement for the Uganda Bureau of Statistics, Vote 143 for the financial year 2024-2025.
refer to the Committee of Finance, Planning and Economic Development,
the National Planning Authority,
Right now, Speaker, I beg to lay on the table the Ministerial Policy Statement for the National Planning Authority, Vote 108 for the financial year 2024-2025. I beg to lay.
Committee of Finance, Planning and Economic Development,
the Parliamentary Commission,
Parliamentary Commission,
Right Honourable Speaker and honourable members, I beg to lay the ministerial policy statement vote 104 Parliamentary Commission Financial 2024-2025. I beg to lay.
Refer to the Committee of Legal and Parliamentary Affairs, Education,
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I beg to lay on table the ministerial policy statement for the Minister of Education and Sports financial 2024-2025 for vote 13, vote 111, National Council of National Curriculum Development Center, vote 128, Uganda National Examinations Board, vote 132, Education Service Commission, vote 164, National Council for Higher Education, vote 165, Uganda Business and Technical Examinations Board, vote 166, National Council of Sports, vote 301, Makerere University, vote 302, Mbarara University, vote 304, Chambogo University, vote 305, Busitema University, vote 306, Muni University, vote 307, Kabale University, vote 308, Roti University, vote 309, Guru University, vote 310, Lila University, vote 312, Uganda Management Institute, vote 313, Mountains of the Moon University, vote 612, local government. I beg to submit. I beg to relay.
the ministerial statements stand refer to the Committee of Education and Sports. They're asking about Bunyoro University. Maybe you'll say something about Bunyoro University later, after this. Let's get. He's going to say something. Science, technology, and innovation. Yes.
Right Honourable Speaker, still under delegation, I beg to lay the ministerial policy statement for science, technology, and innovation for financial year 2024-25 for the following votes. Vote 167. Science, Technology, and Innovation Secretariat. Vote 110. Uganda Industrial Research Institute. I beg to lay.
Thank you. Refer to the Committee of Sector Committee on Presidential Affairs. Auditor General.
Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, I beg to lay the ministerial policy statement for financial year 2024-2025. Vote 131
Is an
for the
order
office of the Auditor General.
on order.
Yes, right honorable speaker. So much.
Yes.
Right honorable speaker is on the point of order. Pursuant to Rule 88, where you must vote in the House. Is Madam is Honorable just remove an order to
Honorable Justin
come and
Lumumba.
disorganize the House in that manner.
Honorable Justin, since those people are disturbing you, come back to the front bench. You sit near Honorable Gobi. Omara, you leave the minister. You want to put on shoes which are bigger than yours. You see, when you start bringing those things to even disorganize, we don't even know where we are now. Minister of ICT and National Guidance. Hey, Auditor General.
Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the ministerial policy statement for financial year 2024-2025, Office of the Auditor General. Vote 131. I beg to lay.
Thank you. Refer to the Committee of Legal and Parliamentary. ICT and National Guidance. Auditor General is for finance. Sorry.
Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, I beg to lay the Ministerial Policy Statement Financial Year 2024-25 covering votes 020, Ministry of Information, Communications Technology and National Guidance, and vote 126, National Information Technology Authority Uganda, NITAU. I beg to move and submit, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Refer to the committee, Sectoral Committee of ICT. Thank you.
The Ministry of Internal Affairs.
Internal Affairs.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members, I beg to lay on the table the Ministerial Policy Statement for the Ministry of Internal Affairs for financial year 2024-25, comprising Vote 009, Ministry of Internal Affairs Headquarters, Vote 120, National Citizenship and Immigration Control, Vote 135, DGAB, Vote 137, ERA, Vote 144, Uganda Police Force, and Vote 145, Uganda Prison Service. I beg to lay.
Thank you. Refer to the Committee of Defense and Internal Affairs.
The Ministry.
Pursuant to Rule 1463.
The Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development.
Minister of Lands.
Madam Speaker, I beg to lay on table the ministerial statement for Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development, covering votes 012 and vote 156 for financial year 2024-2025. I beg to lay.
Thank you. Refer to the Sectoral Committee of Fiscal Infrastructure. Pursuant to Rule 1463.
Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I beg to lay the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development financial year 2024-25 Ministerial Policy Statement and draft budget estimates for votes 017 Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development and 139 Petroleum Authority of Uganda. I submit, Honorables.
Thank you. It is referred to the Committee of Environment and Natural Resources pursuant to Rule 146.3 of the Rules of Procedure.
Ministry of Works and Transport.
Right Honorable Speaker and members, I beg to lay on the table the Ministerial Policy Statement for the Ministry of Works, Vote 106, Ministry of Works, Vote 113, UNRA, Vote 118, Uganda Road Fund, and Vote 609, Local Government. I beg to lay.
Thank you. Refer to the Committee of Fiscal Infrastructure as per the rules.
The Public Service Commission.
Right Honorable Speaker, I beg today the Ministerial Policy Statement for the financial year 2024-2025, Vote 146, Public Service Commission. I beg today.
Thank you. Refer to the Committee of Public Service and Local Government pursuant to the rules.
The Uganda Free Zones Authority.
Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay on table the Ministerial Policy Statement for the Uganda Free Zones Authority, Vote 161, for the financial year 2024-2025. I beg to lay.
Thank you. Refer to the Committee of Finance pursuant to the rules.
Kampala Capital City Authority.
Kampala City.
Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the Kampala Capital City Authority Ministerial Policy Statement of financial year 2024-2025 for vote 122, Kampala Capital City Authority. I beg to lay.
Thank you. This is referred to the Committee of Presidential Affairs pursuant to Rule 146.3 of the Rules of Procedure. And as we had said, the alternative policy statement, and Love, I think, has something to say.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. As you did stipulate in your communication that we shall lay by 20th.
By 25th.
By 25th. Actually, you mentioned 29th, Right Honorable Speaker, but by 25th. We have worked around the clock. We are ready in many respects. We are going to cross every T and dot every I. And by the time prescribed within the law, we shall be ready. So we thought we'll not pick that up right now. But as you had guided, Right Honorable Speaker, that after laying of the ministerial policy statements, we then get to discuss issues of accountability by this House. So that's why we thought we'll deal with the other issue within the laws so that we proceed as you had guided, Right Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Can we first have the Honorable Minister?
Laying of papers on tax exemptions.
Madam Speaker, I beg to lay on table a request for tax waiver of tax arrears for MS J2E Investment Corporation Limited. I beg to lay. Madam Speaker, I also beg to lay on table a request for approval of waiver for tax arrears for Makerere Business Institute Limited pursuant Section 40 of the Tax Procedures Code Act. I beg to lay. Madam Speaker, I beg to lay on the table the request for approval to remit taxes pursuant Section 40 of the Tax Procedures Code Act. I beg to lay.
Thank you.
Lastly, I beg to lay a request for approval of waiver for tax arrears of Kumba University pursuant Section 40 of the Tax Procedures Code Act. I beg to lay, Madam.
Thank you. I refer the proposal from Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development to the Committee of Finance for examination and report back to the House on 28th.
Motion that the House resolves itself into a committee of supply to move funds appropriated under supplementary schedule number 1 for the financial year 2023-2024. Ministry of Education and Sports to vote 166, the National Council of Sports.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move a motion for a resolution of Parliament to amend a resolution of Parliament on the supplementary expenditure schedule number 1 for the financial year 2023-2024. I beg to move.
Is it seconded? Seconded by Omar Solomon, Honorable Minister of Agriculture, Education, Energy, Linda, ICT, Chairperson ICT, Xavier, Dr. Katesh, Angora, Nathan, Isaiah. Thank you. Speak to your motion.
Madam Speaker, whereas on 12th December 2023, under supplementary expenditure schedule number 1 for financial year 2023-2024, Parliament approved Uganda shillings 1,232,782,760 as recurrent supplementary expenditure, and Uganda shillings 1,560,693,561,000 as development supplementary expenditure, noting, however, that during the appropriation process, a total of Uganda shillings 84,920,466,785 was appropriated to vote 13, Ministry of Education and Sports. A total of 23 billion Uganda shillings was meant for vote 166, National Council for Sports, and realizing that there is urgent need to correct the anomaly in paragraph 2 above, I now therefore beg to move that this House resolves itself into a committee of supply to amend its resolution dated the 12th December 2023 in respect of votes 166 and vote 013 013. I beg to move, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. I now put a question that the House resolves itself into a committee of supply to move funds appropriated under supplementary expenditure schedule number 1 for financial year 2023-2024 from vote 013 of Minister of Education and Sports to vote 166, that is National Council of Sports. Those in favor sign the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
The Committee of Supply. Vote 166.
Madam Chair, I move that a total of 23 billion be moved from vote 013, Ministry of Education and Sports, to vote 166, National Council for Sports. I beg to move.
Madam Chair, on the 12th of December last year, this House pronounced itself on this supplementary expenditure. And right now, the Minister is moving to transfer 23 billion from Ministry of Education without giving a justification, and we don't have copies, and we are at a loss. We don't, so that this Parliament can agree or disagree or determine in one or the other. We are giving it as a rubber stamp right over here.
Minister.
Madam Chair, as I justified in the motion, under supplementary schedule 1, we provided for 23 billion meant for an activity under National Council for Sports. This was an anomaly. It was by error, and what I'm just seeking now is Parliament to allow me correct this error and these funds move to the appropriate vote, which is the National Council for Sports. No addition, no subtraction. I'm not seeking for new money. I'm just seeking for authority to be allowed to move money from the wrong vote to the right vote.
What he says, he wants a justification. What is the money meant for? Isn't that what you say, Sechi?
Madam Chair, he has said that it is an error. But I take it that he misled Parliament. And we cannot sit by and just allow you without apologizing to this House. Because if we sit and pass, now you call us the following day, you say, now I'm changing my mind. Your error does not constitute the Parliament's error. You should seek formally to say you are sorry for one reason or the other, you are misled, but do not take us on your bandwagon. We need an apology, right, to Chair.
Honorable Minister, honorable members, I want to remind you that we passed a Sports Act here. And when we passed the Sports Act, there was money under the supplementary budget that was provided for in that budget for infrastructure in Kampala. Remember, we are going to host CHAN in Kampala here and AFCON. So maybe the minister can now continue from there. Let's get from the minister.
Madam,
He wants to give you a clarification.
Madam Chairperson, thank you very much. While I appreciate the intention of the money being shifted, I want to be convinced by the minister that he presented a policy statement to the sessional committee. Sessional committee reported to the budget committee. Budget committee reported to this house, and the house approved. So when the minister alludes to the issue that there was an error, it is an indictment on this house. The process of budgeting under Article 90 is that the sectoral committee handled the matter. It reported it to the budget committee. Budget committee reported to this house. So when the minister makes a statement that it was an error by the government or whoever, it is an indictment on the committees and this house. I want to be clarified.
It is not an indictment in the committee.
So we approved an error.
The formulation of the budget is by executive, not ours.
Okay.
It's not
so
an
the
indictment.
cabinet made an error. The sessional committee made
So
an
they
error.
are making a correction because there was an
So
error.
we deserve an apology from him.
He will come and apologize to you in Kisoro.
Madam Chair, I will recall, and this House should have the record, that this particular appropriation in supplementary on that day happened at the last moment when we were in this House. I and several colleagues sought to get clarification, and it was not allowed. I want to repeat so that you follow that this particular appropriation, when we processed the supplementary, the minister did by a casual letter, and it was brought here, and the Madam Speaker even put on the record, it was never part of the schedules that was brought to this House. You just bypassed and crossed casually and submitted that now you are alternating it. And we sought to question at that time, because it was not processed. Even the sectoral committee did not actually process that. And now you have come and you are saying it was done in error. Madam Speaker, this could be a very serious matter that the Ministry of Finance casually thinks they can first hide some money, and then later it comes and said this is an error and needs to be corrected. Madam Speaker, even the procedure for passing the supplementaries and budgets is that we are appropriate to vote. And I've levered before to say that those votes are actually equivalent to clauses that we are actually passing a law. And when you want to amend the law, which is what you are doing. You come here through a bill. If you want to amend any clause of a law, because we have already passed it, this vote, it is already a law that should be implemented. And now you want to amend it here, and you have just come casually as it is. It shouldn't be that way. So I wanted to raise this matter to you, Madam Speaker. First of all, I agree that this minister must not take this house for granted like he does always. We have forgiven him so many times, and he has now taken this house for granted. He thinks he can just walk and do his things and get away. The law is there and it must be implemented. And it is you, Madam Speaker, who should ensure that these laws are actually followed. So may this minister then be sent back to go and follow the correct procedure. This house will not go anywhere. We shall entertain you and follow the due process and reallocate the money as and when you are proposing.
Honorable Jonathan, the ministerial letter is not just a casual letter. It is not a casual letter, it's an official letter. So what can only be corrected is an official letter. It is an official letter. It is not just casual. Written to the speaker, so, and it was laid on table. There was nothing done casually.
Madam Speaker, I was inviting you to help this house follow the due processes of the law.
No, but what I'm saying, the letter was not casual.
There is no provision that when you want to appropriate, you write to the speaker. It is not there. And
it was laid on the table.
Even the laying, Madam Speaker, I'm just
so
insisting.
can you guide us on the best procedure now on how we can have this corrected under Article 193?
Madam Speaker, I did mention that when we are appropriating, it must come through a bill proposed by the executive. When the bill comes here, all the votes in those bills, as we see, vote 010 etc., are equivalent to clauses when in the law-making process. An appropriation results into an appropriation act, including the supplementaries that have been mentioned. So when you want to amend any law that is in existence, passed already by this house, you can only do that through a bill proposed by the executive. And I have asked him that the correct procedure would be for him to go back and bring a bill to amend the appropriation act, which we did, and therefore this house will then entertain and follow the procedures of an enactment. That's what I wanted to submit. It's not that we are rejecting, but
you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, Honorable Odur is correct on the principle. Yes. However, Madam Chair, I am seeking for Parliament to approve the schedule. At the end of the financial year, I will consolidate all these schedules into a bill, and I will bring the supplementary appropriations bill to the House. Yes. Yes. That's how we normally do it. Rugoro, would you like to come and support me?
You have something to say?
Thank you very much, Chairperson. I think we take cognizance of what advice the Honorable Jonathan has given, but I would concur with the Minister that the amendment will eventually come in the supplementary appropriation bill in June. That is what we have been doing here. It will be contained in the supplementary appropriation bill.
Honorable members, I want to believe that all this is done in good faith. The moment we don't do this again, Omara will be the first person to go and make noise on social media. Akibwa, 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 Akibwa. But what we want, as the minister said, one, we must host AFCON. We must host CHAN. But also don't make mistakes. Don't make mistakes. Do the right thing. Don't do the right thing.
Madam Speaker.
You know, Odur is saying before I put a question, I think he knows I'm putting a question.
Yeah, I've been long enough here, Madam Speaker. In this case now, we don't want also to send information that has not been validated by the executive. Can the minister then now confirm? Because I've had names of Akibwa, we have had names of this. Can you now confirm that this money is going to go for A, B, C, D on the record so that the House can now get convinced? So we want to see if it's Akibwa, you tell us how much will go to Akibwa and for what purpose. Because for the record,
no, China and AFCON.
Madam Chair.
Honorable members, Omara.
Madam Chair, the particulars were very clear. In the supplementary.
No, you just say.
AFCON and CHAN. This money is going to finance activities under AFCON and CHAN.
Honorable members, where is the Minister of Education?
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Under AFCON, we are expected to prepare quite a number of playing grounds. And these are quite a number. I don't have them on my fingertips.
Honorable members, I have the president of FUFA who knows the playing grounds. The stadiums that I know are Akibwa and Hoima. Akibwa has already been visited by the contractors. The contract is already being made by AG. So we want to know which places are going to be worked on locally. Can we hear?
Right Honourable Speaker and colleagues, there are two activities which are intertwined. For us to be able to host, to be granted the right to host the Africa Cup of Nations in 2027, the regulations of CAF require that we should have hosted another competition before. And for us to be able to be granted, we also accepted to host CHAN. CHAN is a different competition, and that is coming in 2024 in September. So for us to be able to host that competition, again, the three countries, we need the resources to prepare the hosting. And CHAN, our plan is to host it in only one stadium, and that is Mandela National Stadium. And that's what these resources are meant to do, prepare for CHAN. And then the AFCON costs that have been included in this is simply preparation. Just this weekend, we received the inspection team, and these expenses are already going on. That actually we expected to receive the resources in about December, but up to the expenses are going on. Inspection teams are flying in and out in preparation of the main team that is going to come and sign a contract with us to host AFCON in 2027. So we're already running late, but these are not the resources to construct the stadiums. These are resources to prepare. And if we don't do it now, we run a danger of losing the rights to host the Africa Cup of Nations. I beg.
Honorable members, I put a question that the total sum. Boss, first it. You've understood what you wanted to understand. And you have the policy statement. Look at the policy statements. Hey.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Chair, our colleague, the Honorable Member, has given us an account of what is going to be done with that money. But in this committee, we have the political heads responsible for spending that money. They've made no comment to acknowledge whether what he says is actually what they are politically responsible for or what they are going to do. So I'm worried that this money is going to become loose money. And being loose money, it can be even shared. So, Right Honorable Speaker, let the political heads acknowledge what we've just heard.
Please do.
Right Honorable Speaker and dear colleagues, I do accept that whatever my colleague friend here has said is acceptable to us.
That's enough. Honorable members, I put a question that the sum of Uganda shillings 23 billion be moved from vote to 1013, Minister of Education and Sports, to vote 166, National Council of Sports. Those in favor stand the contrary. Nay. The ayes have it.
Motion for resumption of the House.
I get surprised when I hear Senaz saying no, when Hoima is one of the beneficiaries. Minister.
Madam Chair, I beg to move that the House do resume and the committee of the whole House reports thereto.
Honorable members, I put a question that the House does resume and the committee of the whole House reports thereto. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Report of the Committee of Supply.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I beg to report that the committee of the whole House has considered a motion for a resolution of Parliament on the supplementary schedule number 1 for financial year 2023-2024 and moved an amount of Uganda shillings 23 billion from vote 013 Ministry of Education and Sports to vote 166 National Council of Sports. I beg to report.
Thank you.
Motion for adoption of the report of the Committee of Supply.
Minister.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move a motion that the report from the Committee of Supply be adopted.
I put a question that the report of the Committee of Supply be adopted by this House. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it. Honorable members. As I said before, yes.
Right, Honorable Speaker. Thank you very much. Honorable Speaker, from what we have just gone through now, there are clear signs that the country is adequately gearing towards the African Cup of Nations and the other games. Right, Honorable Speaker, it would be procedurally correct for the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Finance, as we look at these facilities that will be built, to also begin to consider some of the areas that are near. For example, when you look at Akibwa in Lira, a stadium like Paige Stadium would be the best place to prepare for the players as they would go for the tournament. Again, we have Gulu Airport. That would be the best place where the players would fly in. And so we need to look at places like Gulu.
And Soroti.
Exactly. Places like Gulu, Soroti, Arua, and nearby places. And we need to invest and prepare those places. And so, Right Honorable Speaker, it would be procedurally correct for the ministry to put resources.
You have already said, you have already given a response to your procedure, but the minister has something to say.
Right, Honorable Speaker, I just wanted to give information to the Honorable Member that plans are underway to expand Gulu Airport and also do the road Kona Yel, Kona Boke, Kona Icheme to Bobi, so that if the team lands in a Gulu, then takes the shortcut to Lira.
Yes, Central.
Right, Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. And
I think what the Honorable Mapenduzi raises is a great matter for us to take notice of. Rather than the infrastructure based on roads and others, but also the sports infrastructure. Probably we would use this opportunity not to only focus on the big stadium, but also what we call the regional feeder stadia, or even at district level. For example, creation of better stadia, we can even talk of go for region in Kigezi and pick one in Kacheka. Then we pick on the divisions of Kampala each, where we have the highest concentration and the metropolitan Wakiso Entebbe municipality, and use part of these funds to improve sports infrastructure. And if you came up with such a proposal, I can assure you, I don't think there is any member of this house that would decline to support you. Even in as much as we might not all come here to ask for big stadia, but the backup support infrastructure, training, not necessarily training grounds, but when we were in Rwanda for the recent East African Games, we had those mini stadia, the small ones, where, you know, at regional level, which might not have a big capacity of over 3,000 people, over 5,000 people, but even if it was 2,000, well hoarded, but with changing rooms, and then we can improve. We can say that out of AFCON and CHAN, this is exactly what we got as benefit. So we can have it in Ankole, in Kigezi, regionally, and in Kampala Metropolitan at every division.
Thank you. Honorable members, we missed out one ministerial statement.
The Equal Opportunities Commission.
Honorable Minister. Honorable Sechi. Helen is...
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. And I want to apologize that the statement came in a bit late. Pursuant to Section 13 of the Public Finance Management Act 2015 and the Rules of Procedure of Parliament, I move that the Ministerial Policy Statement Vote 124 Equal Opportunities Commission for the financial year 2024-2025 be laid.
Tony, pick it. Tony is now
I beg to
near.
lay. Yeah, Tony.
Thank
Speaker,
you.
you are giving me my good friends only. Thank you.
Thank you. Referred to the Committee of Gender, Labour and Social Development. That's pursuant to Rule 146.30. Honorable Aleko.
Honorable Speaker. Madam Speaker, I was following up on a matter that my brother, Honorable Martin Ojara Mapenduzi, was raising. Madam Speaker, the Minister of Transport and Works came up and gave us a very good response in as far as Gulu, in terms of the airport and the road is concerned. Madam Speaker, Soroti Flying School, the East African School of Aviation, is probably one of the oldest aviation facilities other than Entebbe that we have. Madam Speaker, I would want to seek clarification from the Minister that as we plan for these additional ones in other places in the country, what is the plan of the ministry in as far as ensuring that we harness the best possible use of Soroti Flying School, which has the second longest tarmacked runway other than Entebbe in the country, which probably has some of the biggest aviation facilities and equipment in the country after Entebbe. Because I don't hear this. Number two, Mr. Minister, I know that you're looking at the visitors flying into Gulu. But as you know, Soroti is only 1 hour away from Lira. We would be glad for you to also tell us what you are thinking in terms of road infrastructure around this sub-region. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Honorable Arifa. Minister.
Thank you very much, Honorable Right Honorable Speaker. Honorable Rico, the issue of Soroti Flying School, if you don't recall, this was an East African facility. And we are still, through the Ministry of East Africa, we are still fighting to get this facility under the government of Uganda. We are still negotiating with the other member countries, that is the original member countries of East Africa, that's Kenya and Tanzania, to let go of this facility so that the government can now invest in the facility knowing it's our facility. The negotiations are still ongoing, and we are waiting to see how far we'll go with this. So it's now very difficult for me even to get money from Minister of Finance to fully invest or get a vote for this school, because it's not, we are not owning it as a government.
You mean Soroti is not owned as a government of Uganda?
Clarification. The legal status of the Soroti Flying School is still a matter to be decided between East Africa and the government.
Clarification. Madam Speaker.
I thought that is a matter of law.
Madam Speaker, I'm seeking clarification from the Honourable Minister. We have been investing in the Soroti Flying School. We even bought aircraft. President Museveni is the one promoting East African community. Can you clarify to this parliament your discussion to own? How does it stop you from investing money to host, to allow the guests use the facility to make it become better, so that when President Museveni, the Speaker of Parliament, with the MPs go to other countries, we can say this facility for East Africa, but Uganda is investing money and is a model that we desire for the East African cooperation. Can you clarify?
And Honorable Minister, one thing you need to know that the land of Soroti Flying School is being encroached on. The land has been taken away.
Additional.
Yes.
Madam Speaker, just before the minister comes.
Now I see the whole of Soroti standing up. Yes.
I thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Honourable Minister, I am happy that you said that at the moment the government of Uganda is not able to invest heavily on this School of Aviation because it belongs to the former original East African community. Mr. Speaker, I would like to request the Minister that as it goes on to clarify on what the Honorable Kanya has raised, I would like you to also help me understand who at the moment pays the common cadre staff who work at this aviation school. For instance, the accountants, the administrators, the human resource officers, and so on. Number two, what about the technical staff, the engineers, the instructors, and the other pilots? If it is the government of Uganda, is this investment or not? Why then do you keep people paid without making the facility more economically viable? I thank you.
Another information from here.
Madam Speaker, I like the debate that is going on. But Madam Speaker, while we congratulate the ministry of the significant works that have been done at Entebbe International Airport, the debate is now talking about the airstrips. We are excited about the African Cup of Nations hosting those visitors. But Madam Speaker, on a daily basis, we have tourists coming into this country. So the debate should extend. If we are talking about airstrips, we have, for example, Kisoro airstrip. And Kisoro is a place where we get 60% of our tourist revenues because of the mountain gorillas. It is in a very poor state. Some of the notices have been issued, all the time being closed, opened. We have Kidepo, and we have others that serve the tourism industry. So, Right Honorable Speaker, I would like to request that the Minister is given time to table a comprehensive report about the status of these airstrips and what is the strategic plan, because we have seen directives by the President to rehabilitate some of these airstrips, and we have not seen anything being done. So rather than have piecemeal cherry picking of one airstrip and leaving the others, let's have a comprehensive status so that we can debate. Because African Cup of Nations will come, they will go away. But the tourists are coming every day, and we have airports and airstrips that have been neglected. I beg to submit.
Honorable members, I am happy you're now talking about policy issues. And now you have ministerial policy statements. And this is the time for you to deliberate and include on those policy statements. So, Minister, you will have to give an input on those things, and then you need to have a comprehensive statement on the whole country. Whereas we also want all the sectoral committees must report back in 2 weeks, meaning all members are going to be in sectoral committees. There will be no house sitting, but there will be committees sitting. Committees will be sitting, but the House will not be sitting for the next 2 weeks. That is up to 28th, considering the issue of the policy statements. So that on 28th, we will be able to resume the House with a statement from leader of opposition, that is the alternative policy statement. I now adjourn the House to 28th.
One-on-one with Michael Jordan.
A weekly face-to-face conversation focusing on accountability, inspiration, information, and sensitization of the public from the various sources, such as inspirational profiles.
Having disability is not inability.
Professional guidance.
There is no special antiretroviral therapy that is given as
and of course politics.
Don't you see anywhere that you would give the credit copy?
My role as the owner of the country is not to,